Hello there, you're tuning to 7 Edition with me, Tonton. Here are the top stories. Temple riot has nothing to do with race and religion, says Tun M. PT-PTN loan repayments start when salary hits 2,000 ringgit. And Good Thing sues Fox Disney $1 billion over theme park termination. The violent riots at the Hindu temple in Seafield, Subang Jaya that caused injuries and property damage had nothing to do with race or religion, but was a criminal matter. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has condemned the violence and rowdy protests outside the Sri Mahamariamman temple and vowed to bring the perpetrators to justice. In a statement, the Premier said stern action will be taken against the criminals involved and any masterminds of the unrest over the past 2 days. He added that racial issues or religious issues did not arise at all, despite the temple's relocation. According to Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, the police have been instructed to immediately handle and monitor the situation. The government also urged the public not to be swayed by rumors or spreading fake news. Yesterday, a clash at the 147-year-old Sri Mahamariamman temple between two groups saw several people injured and 18 vehicles set ablaze. The fight was believed to have been about the relocation of the temple. Now, a fireman who was severely injured during the violent riot at the Sri Mahamariamman temple in USJ 25 has been taken to the intensive care unit of a local hospital. Fire and Rescue Department Director General Dato' Muhammad Hamdan Wahid said the victim was reported to be in critical condition and currently relying on life support machine.
Seperti yang saya lihat tadi pada badan dia, there are bruises all over dan tambah sekali di bahagian perut dan dada dia. Yang mana kita percaya itu adalah punca-punca menyebabkan berlakunya patah tulang rusuk yang menyusup kepada usus. Dan ini menyebabkan dia di dalam keadaan yang tidak sedar pada masa kini, masih lagi di bawah bantuan life support.
24-year-old Muhammad Adib Muhammad Qasim was taken to a private hospital in Subang Jaya, Selangor by local people early this morning. He was part of the Emergency Medical Rescue Services EMRS team deployed to the scene near the temple. The victim was said to be in a van when the mob began to throw stones at the vehicle, breaking the windows, side mirrors and doors. He was then dragged out of the vehicle and assaulted before his partner drove off without realizing that he was not in the van with him. Housing and Local Government Minister Zuraida Kamarudin has slammed the attack against firefighters on duty during the riot. She said the attack against civil servants who were on duty was outrageous and should not have happened at all.
What really saddened me is because for no reason, a uniformed member of the civil servants, uniformed member come with the good intention, come with the truck, with the bomber truck, with the official truck. It shows clearly that they are coming to help. I don't understand why Malaysians are behaving this way.
Zuraida was speaking to reporters after visiting Muhammad Adib at the SJMC. She said the Fire and Rescue Department had lodged police reports regarding the assault on its personnel. The minister also sought intervention from all parties, especially the Selangor government, developers and stakeholders, to sit together and find solutions to the temple's relocation issue. Meanwhile, Muhammad Adib's fiancée took to Facebook to express her concerns and ask for prayers for Muhammad Adib's well-being. Nurul Najiha wrote, "You are strong. Get up quick. Please pray for my fiancé. I am not strong enough to watch you like this." Her later post also urged netizens not to make the false claims, saying her fiancé is still alive. Netizens alike wished the couple their best, with the post garnering over nearly 700 well-wishing comments and 2,736 shares as at 5:30 p.m. The couple is due to be married next month. Now, still on the case. 4 more men have been arrested in connection with the fracas at the temple and its surrounding areas. Now, Selangor Police Chief Dato' Mazlan Mansor said the latest round of arrests bring the total number of those detained to 21.
Semua lelaki. 2 lelaki yang sebelum ini, yang pagi tadi kita dapat 2 lagi, 21 semuanya, 2 lelaki ini. The last one tu, 2 lelaki itu dia memiliki senjata dalam kenderaan dia. Tidak dapat memberi penjelasan yang betul, kita melakukan tangkapan. Parang.
Dato' Mazlan said 5 more vehicles near the temple and at one city mall were burnt last night, while a fire and rescue department vehicle was also damaged by a group of people. Several groups also went to one city mall located some 1 kilometer from the temple and broke the building's glass panels and caused other property damage. Police also closely monitoring the situation to ensure it does not worsen. They have also issued a stern warning to those responsible and to not make matters worse.
Elsewhere, 16 people, including 3 representatives from one city development, Sediran Berhad, believed to be part of the fracas at the Maha Mariamman Temple, have been remanded between 2 to 5 days at the Magistrates Court. The remand order was issued by Magistrate Nur Arifin Hisham starting today until this Saturday. The magistrate allowed the remand order against all the suspects aged between 18 to 49 years old for further investigations. They are being investigated for mischief by fire or explosive substance, rioting, sabotage, and criminal trespassing. 3 of the 16 who are unrepresented are currently hospitalized and are being watched by the police.
In another development, a group of devotees from the temple sought Tun Dr. Mahathir's intervention to prevent further bloodshed. The group's secretary, V.K. Regu, said the violence was due to an unresolved 20-year-old dispute over the land on which the Hindu temple sits.
Kami akan tahan diri kita akan kumpul keputusan daripada Perdana Menteri amat perlu dalam masa ini kerana semalam lebih kurang 10,000 orang seluruh Malaysia dah berkumpul. Ini become national issue. We want the Prime Minister interfere, solve this problem, bagi perjanjian keselamatan kami, keselamatan kuil-kuil kami, keselamatan penganut-penganut Hindu dibuktikan, dibagi satu jaminan yang tepat, baru kami akan buat keputusan sama ada kita boleh percaya polis dengan kerajaan ini. Itu adalah pilihan kerajaan.
Raghu said his group distrusts the police, whom he insisted was slow to respond to the pre-dawn rioting last night. He also claimed that the law enforcer's delayed response had endangered the lives of some devotees. On September 28th, the Shah Alam High Court had issued a notice for the land where the temple is situated to be vacated on or before October 15th. However, on October 25th, some 300 people had gathered at the temple to demonstrate against its relocation. Police have refuted claims by certain quarters that they were slow to act against a group of intruders who had set up upon the Sri Maha Mariamman Temple. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi Harun said police were at the scene within 10 minutes of receiving a call from the public at 2:40 a.m. Speaking to reporters at the Selangor Police Headquarters last night, he said the police did not use water cannons to disperse the crowd out of respect for the place of worship.
Takkan kita di tempat ibadat kita nak gunakan water cannon dan sebagainya, logiknya bolehkah kita gunakan begitu? Kalau kita berbuat demikian, kita akan lagi diserang dan sebagainya. Jadi apa ni, kita bertindak ni mestilah mengikut kesesuaian.
Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi said backup was called by the ground team, which saw 700 more policemen arrive to help control the situation. The top cop added that 6 people comprising the temple devotees and the attackers were injured during the melee. He said a police corporal from Serdang Police was also injured when he was set upon while trying to break up a fight. On to the Dewan Rakyat sitting. The Cabinet has decided to increase the salary threshold for National Higher Education Fund (PTPTN) monthly salary deductions for borrowers to RM2,000 and above. Deputy Education Minister Teo Ni Ching said the mandatory salary deduction has also been set to 2% or RM40 per month. During the question and answer session, Teo said the salary deduction will increase progressively to 15%.
Sama ada pihak Kementerian Pendidikan berhasrat untuk mempertimbangkan supaya sekurang-kurangnya pengecualian pemberian balik untuk belajar-belajar kelas pertama ini dikekalkan untuk kesemua mereka yang mendapat sijil sarjana muda kelas pertama, sekurang-kurangnya untuk belajar-belajar di IPTA.
Pengecualian ini akan diberi kepada bukan sahaja golongan B40 tetapi juga akan dipanjangkan, diperluaskan kepada golongan M40. Jadi ini memang sudah menjadi satu keputusan di dalam mesyuarat Jemaah Menteri pada 23 November. Jadi untuklah golongan pelajar yang dapatlah kelas pertama dari T20, kita memang haraplah bahawa oleh sebab mereka memang datang dari keluarga yang agak bermampu, jadi kita harap bahawa mereka akan terus bayar. Dan bukan nak tekan di sini bahawa pengecualian ini bukan sahaja akan diberi kepada pelajar-pelajar daripada UA seperti yang tadi dicadangkan oleh ahli yang berhormat Ipoh Tibor, tetapi juga IPTS golongan M40 juga akan menikmati pengecualian ini kalau mereka dapat kelas pertama.
The Deputy Minister added that a total of 53,113 students from first-class honours were exempted from repaying their loans as of October this year. This involved 37,355 students from public universities and 15,758 students from private universities. During the 2019 budget announcement early this month, Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng said that mandatory salary deductions of between 2 and 15% would be imposed on borrowers earning a monthly salary of RM1,000 and above. The Cabinet's decision on PTPTN comes a day after students from Mahasiswa Malaysia 2018 held a protest march to Parliament on November 22nd to hand a memorandum to the government. The group said students' interests, especially on PTPTN, had not been protected in the 2019 budget. In other news, a disciplinary teacher was charged at the Pulau Pinang Magistrates Court with murdering his wife in Air Hitam, Georgetown, more than a week ago. No plea was recorded from the accused Lim Fong Un, age 42, when the charge was read out before Magistrate L. Uma Devi. Lim is alleged to have killed his wife, T. Santi, by hitting her on the head with a laundry drying rack at their rented apartment in Taman Sri Indah on November 18th. It was reported that Lim had admitted to hitting his wife following a misunderstanding before leaving for his hometown in Kulim. He returned to the rented unit the following day and found his wife still unconscious. Lim then surrendered himself to the police in Kulim. The accused faces the death penalty if found guilty under Section 302 of the Penal Code. The court fixed December 27th for mention pending the post-mortem report. A Pulau Pinang City Council employee was charged at the Sessions Court today with causing hurt to a doctor and a nurse after setting fire to a private hospital clinic last month. 39-year-old M. Balachandran claimed trial when the charge was read to him before Judge Mazdi Abdul Hamid. He was charged under Section 326 of the Penal Code, which carries a maximum of 20 years jail, fine or whipping upon conviction. The court fixed January 3rd next year for remention of the case and set bail at RM6,000. Balachandran was accused of causing serious injuries to Dr. Leong Wing Seng and nurse K. Prima by dousing petrol on them and setting them on fire at the UN6 clinic at the Lam 1E hospital on September 3rd. It was reported that the accused was also sustained burns on both hands. Now coming up, if the milk smells bad, trust that it's bad. Details next. Thank you for staying with us. Genting Malaysia Berhad has sued 21st Century Fox and its soon-to-be new owner, the Walt Disney Co. for pulling out of an agreement for a Fox World theme park at its casino resort outside Kuala Lumpur. Genting is seeking more than $1 billion in damages, claiming that Disney does not want to be associated with its gambling business as the Hollywood giant moves to finalize its acquisition of 21st Century Fox's entertainment assets. Fox entered into a licensing agreement in 2013 with Genting for the development of what would be the first Fox-branded theme park in the world, due to open next year. Unlike Disney, which owns its parks in part or in whole, Genting would own and finance the park completely, with Fox getting a cut of the revenue from retail, food and beverages. Genting has invested $750 million in the park. In a statement, Genting said that once Disney started calling the shots this year, the objective was no longer renegotiation but termination, even though Fox had been trying to renegotiate the agreement in various times over delays in the park's completion. The theme park was part of an attempt to help broaden the casino resort's appeal and achieve a target of 30 million annual visitors by 2020. On a business note, Genting Malaysia Berhad and its parent, Genting Berhad, saw a combined 4.89 billion ringgit erased from their market capitalization at midday on Tuesday, following the fallout from the $1 billion suit. Genting Malaysia's shares fell 53 sen to 3.07 ringgit, with 186.18 million shares done, while Genting Berhad fell 45 sen to 6.45 ringgit, with 11.39 million shares done. Petroleum Nasional Berhad Petronas net profit surged 43% to 14.3 billion ringgit in the third quarter, ended September 30th, on the back of a 19% revenue growth to 63.9 billion ringgit. The national oil company said the improved profit and revenue were offset by higher product costs and stronger ringgit against the US dollar. In a statement today, its president and group chief executive officer, Tan Sri Wan Zulkifli Wan Arifin, said the improved results were driven by ongoing operational improvement efforts throughout the group and supported by improved oil prices during the period. He said Petronas was on track to deliver a strong year-end performance by maintaining its focus on driving efficiency efforts across all its operations. For the cumulative period ended September 30th, 2018, Petronas recorded a 12% increase in revenue to 181.1 billion ringgit. This was mainly due to the impact of higher average realized prices for key products as well as increased efficiency efforts. Net profit for the first 9 months increased 50% to 41.0 billion ringgit from the same period in 2017. Now let's move on to our daily segment, Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. A Malaysian parody of the song Bohemian Rhapsody by British rock band Queen has gone viral on social media. Over a span of just 3 days since its upload, the parody was viewed over 21,000 times. Take a look.
Roti bawang, roti melon, sangat lapar nak order lagi. Ya sangat lapar nak order lagi. Perut tak kenyang tapi nak makan lagi.
This song comes not long after a Twitter post what coined the term Biryani Rhapsody, featuring a Freddie Mercury lookalike in a local restaurant recently went viral. All these puns and jokes that has been surfacing lately were fueled by the excitement of the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, which has drawn old and new Malaysian fans to cinemas since its premiere on November 8th.
Let's go!
Now, growing up, you've probably come across some lessons on how to drink milk safely. Easiest way to test milk is to run a smell or taste test. And if at one go it already is smelling or tasting unusual, throw it away. Sadly, this was a recent nightmare by a Malaysian who only trusted the expiration date. Recently, a girl by the name of Mohana was shocked after discovering the contents of her milk packet drink and took to her Facebook profile on Sunday. She allegedly bought the milk from a convenience store in Flora, Damansara Perdana, and claims to notice an unusual sourish taste to it as she was sipping the dairy. This prompted her to immediately check the expiration date, which read 2019. Trusting the date, she proceeded to finish the drink anyway. Immediately after she finished it, she dented the box before throwing it out. And that was when she discovered fungus on top of the box, which then urged her to cut the box open. And voila, she was greeted by an unpleasant surprise. And as expected, poor Mohana had been reportedly vomiting and suffering from diarrhea after consuming the milk. She then contacted the milk company and they responded to her yesterday. A sample from the milk was taken by one of their representatives to be sent to the lab for a test. Mohana claimed that they would collect samples from the convenience store itself. The test results are expected to be out on December 3rd. Now updated as of 7 p.m., here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today. When we return, 4 injured in China freak accident. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. A Chinese scientist claimed on Monday that he has created the world's first genetically edited babies has prompted global outcry and investigation by Chinese health authorities. More than 100 scientists, most of them in China, have condemned the act as crazy and unethical. In a video posted on Sunday, university professor Hu Jiankui announced the birth of twin girls whose DNA had been edited to prevent HIV infection. He said the twins' DNA was modified using CRISPR-Cas9, a technique that allows scientists to remove and replace a strand with pinpoint precision.
I feel a strong responsibility that it's not just to make it first, but also make it as example how to perform like this, consider morality of the society, and consider its impact to the public. I know this is probably going to be the world first. So if it's not safe or have any problem, it may rule the entire field, and the people may lose trust in the new technology.
Editing the genes of embryos, which can alter other genes, is banned in many countries because DNA changes, which will be passed to future generations, could have unforeseen effects on the entire gene pool. He claimed that they chose embryo gene editing for HIV because these infections are a big problem in China. Several scientists reviewed materials that He had provided and said tests so far are insufficient to say the editing worked or to rule out harm. They also noted evidence that the editing was incomplete and that at least one twin appears to be at patchwork of cells with various changes. Amid a barrage of criticism, China's National Health Commission late on Monday ordered officials to seriously investigate and verify He's claims. Russia on Tuesday stressed that introduction of martial law in Ukraine following Russia's seizure of 3 vessels in the Kerch Strait could create tension in Ukraine's conflict-stricken southeast. The 3 ships were sailing off the coast of Crimea, which was annexed by Russia in 2014 when they were seized. Ukraine says it was a Russian act of aggression, while Moscow claimed the ships had illegally entered its waters. According to Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov, the imposition of the order in various regions potentially could lead to the threat of an escalation of tension in the conflict region. Peskov also said Russian President Vladimir Putin will announce his stance on the incident in the Kerch Strait within the next few days, adding that it would be wrong to underestimate the significance and danger of such provocations. Earlier, Kiev on Monday imposed martial law for 30 days in parts of the country after President Petro Poroshenko warned of the extremely serious threat of a land invasion. The two nations have been locked in long-simmering conflict since Moscow annexed the Black Sea peninsula of Crimea back in 2014. Waiter robots in Nepal have taken over waiting duties at a restaurant in Kathmandu, offering a unique experience to its customers. Now let's take a look at the unique footage of these bots as we wrap up 7 edition. I'm Otto Othman. Thanks for tuning in and good night.